the team. So Saliba, the only one starting from both of those games. It appears to be they're going for a five at the back. So we'll need to be breaking them down.
You know, when the draw for the group stage was made, I think most fans had their eye on this match.
So Zurich are a Swiss team. Again, this is one that Arsenal won pretty comfortably in real life, so we'll be looking to replicate that. What we need is to really get ourselves this European trophy. It's the one thing that Arsenal are missing from their trophy cabinet, which is otherwise absolutely stacked out. So it'd be nice to get that. I mean, the Premier League is something which is looking very, very likely for Arsenal in real life at the moment. Strike from just throw save. With a recent North London derby win, 2-0, very comfortable. Arsenal looking solid, and Manchester United pipping Manchester City in their Manchester derby to give Arsenal a further 3-point cushion, which takes them 8 points clear at the top of the table now, with both games to go against Manchester City. So we haven't yet played them, got them coming up in the FA Cup, but it'll be interesting to see the dynamic of that. I don't think there'll be full strength from Arsenal in that one. I think we'll be preserving a lot of players for the League and Europa League, so it'll be interesting to see how that one is played by Arteta. Very good chance for Martinelli there. Good save, but he should be bagging that, really, shouldn't he? It was a low strike, but saved well by the keeper. Emma Smith Rowe will whip one in here. Tomiyasu would challenge for it, not one. Another corner. Get that ball whipped in. Nothing on it. Eddie Nketiah tries his luck from range, but a comfortable save in the end. So yeah, the Arsenal-Manchester game, it's a big one. There's a lot on the line here for Arsenal Football Club, with Manchester United actually being level with points now with Man City for second place. If Arsenal get that win there, you know, that almost gives them one hand onto the silverware. It's be a big milestone for them if they can get a result against Manchester United. These are the Emirates, so the crowd will be very much in their favour, and I think that will play a heavy part in the game. But what a statement that would be to play Tottenham Hotspur away, get 3 points, and to play Manchester United immediately after that and get 3 points. It will be a colossal statement in Arsenal's intentions for the season. There's been nothing but good statements so far, so looking very good. But it's strike from Martinelli. So Manchester United are in fine fettle themselves. Marcus Rashford really turning on the class in his last few games. I think he's scored in his last 5 or 6, so he's definitely one to watch for Arsenal. Big strike there from Evan Ndicka, and it'll be a big task for the Arsenal centre backs and full backs to keep Rashford quiet. He seems to have found his form as of late, Marcus Rashford, off the back of that World Cup. One that he did play very well in. Didn't get a lot of game time, unfortunately, but that is due to the high level of quality within that attacking team for England. Strike wide from Martinelli again. Just unable to hit the target here. But Marcus Rashford was definitely not sure of goals within that World Cup. He definitely found the net every time he came onto the pitch as a sub. Just unfortunately couldn't get his start. So Eddie Nketiah charging through here. He's got to score. No, again denied. I don't know what more is going to take from these boys to actually find the back of the net. We've got everything except the ball into the bag. We'll keep at him. We'll keep piling the pressure on. It's inevitable. The breakthrough is coming. So again, guys, let me know if you think I should be putting the difficulty up. As I say, it was a bit of a drop off. Going from legendary to world class. So this is world class, and for some reason we seem to be dominating every single game. But when we switched it to legendary, quite the opposite happened. We seem to get absolutely dominated. So it's an interesting combination. Let me know which one you guys prefer. If you want to see us get absolutely slapped about and embarrassed, let me know. But if not, we'll stick with the world class, and we'll actually have a chance to score some goals. So I'm not sure what the foul was there, to be honest. I don't think he even touched us. So interesting choice of advantage there. but you
And
can't
winning it
complain.
back.
So a bit of a stale first half so far. The chances have definitely been there, just unable to find the back. And a very good header from Thomas Partey there. Smith Rowe lobbing one
Well,
forward.
that's clear.
Can't quite find his man. So
Zinchenko.
Partey's looking very solid in there.
Martinelli.
We've just been linked in real life with
So the
Declan Rice
whistle in.
actually,
We're
which I
at the
think will
halfway stage.
definitely be a move that we're looking to confirm over the summer. A move that a lot of Arsenal fans would be very, very happy to see. Definitely no complaints from me. Partey is looking a bit older now. Still at the very, very peak of his game, but in terms of longevity, that's going to be something that we have to look at. It's definitely an area of addressing. And with Partey being as injury prone as he is, I think looking at Declan Rice is a very good thing to do. I think it'll be a lot of money. That's my only concern, and whether we'll be able to compete in that market will be an interesting watch for sure. I think we'll definitely have some interest from Liverpool or Manchester United or Man City for a caliber or a player of that caliber, I should say, because he's a big acquisition if we can get hold of that one. And again, it will certainly state our intentions here. So just looking at what we can do to kind of introduce a bit of clinical finishing to the side. We might get Leao on a bit later on, just to find that breakthrough, really, one who can actually stick the ball on the back of the net. Because as I say, we've had everything except the goal, so we'll watch that one. But Declan Rice is certainly somebody I want to be bringing in on this career mode as well. We are lacking in that midfield area in terms of the defensive position. Good finish from Fabio Vieira. There we go. We've been talking the entire half about our inability to finish, and we finished within 2 minutes of the second half. That's what we needed. That was the breakthrough. Good finish from Fabio Vieira. So I want to be bringing in Declan Rice as that initial backup for Partey, but to eventually be his successor under his tutelage. I think that'll be a very good combination. It's something they can do. They can coexist. There's a lot of games to play, and mixing Partey and Rice would be a very, very good thing for Arsenal Football Club. And as I say, with the kind of lack of, or the amount of games that we lose through a Partey injury, I think Declan Rice will certainly get more than his fair share of game time for Arsenal. So it's a very exciting link, and hopefully one that we can make true. As I say, I'd be interested to see who else is in for him. Good, brilliant hold-up play from Nelson there as he charges through and rifles one into the back of the net. That is absolutely beautiful. So in terms of substitutions now, I'm not sure who we're going to need to bring on if we are going to need to make any of those substitutions. What we don't want to do is tire out the first team in these kind of smaller Europa League games. I think what we'll do is just probably stick with this team for the rest of the 90 minutes. I don't think anybody else needs to be brought on, so we'll just hold it for there now. Just see this one out with another good away performance. It's excellent to see. So Thomas Partey, as I say, he's having to play a lot of games here. If we get him injured, it could be very problematic for us. With me sending Lokonga out on loan because I'm an absolute legend and not actually replacing him. So Nelson trying to find somebody at the far post. Martinelli, I think it was at the far post, but just used his wrong foot, interestingly, which allowed the defender a very easy interception. The switch straight into the path of Tomiyasu, who gobbles that one up. So Nelson knocking that into Eddie. So Eddie Nketiah had a very good showing against Tottenham Hotspur. Unfortunately, did miss a couple of very good chances, but his overall build-up play was brilliant, and he certainly stepped into those Gabriel Jesus shoes wonderfully. It's a big ask for somebody to come in and hit the ground running like that, especially someone of such a young age. But as with the kind of nature of this entire Arsenal team, youth has been asked to step up in all areas, and they've more than done that. They've built the whole team around youth, and what a way to do it. I think in a couple of years this team's going to be even more phenomenal than it is already, and they're sitting at the top of the table quite comfortably, interestingly enough. So very exciting times to be an Arsenal fan, and as I say, it's very much overdue. We've been through a lot, but we're shining now. Mikel Arteta has done wonders with his club, and I hope to do the same here in this career mode. Undefeated as we're intending so far. We are going for that golden bit of silverware with the Premier League Golden Trophy, one that Arsene Wenger very famously won with the Invincibles in that 03-04 campaign. That tiny little golden trophy, hilarious, but one that very few teams have achieved. I think it was only us, Arsenal Football Club, and Nottingham Forest are the only two teams who have actually achieved that feat. So it's a big ask of a team, and not been replicated since. I think Manchester City have come close with 1 or 2 games lost, or Liverpool, but it just seems something which seems completely unattainable. To be undefeated across the entirety of the season, colossal, absolutely colossal achievement, and Arsene Wenger was the man to oversee it. The man who's created a lot of Arsenal fans, really, myself included, introducing us all to beautiful football. And what Mikel Arteta has managed to do here is kind of introduced that tactical rigidity that Pep Guardiola has, and mixed with the creativity and the flair of an Arsene Wenger side. Good strike from Martinelli, but just wide. His finishing really has not been up to scratch today, but luckily it hasn't mattered too much, with us leading quite comfortably here with a 2-0 goal lead. But as I say, it's only a minor Europa League fixture, and winning this one does put us on 6 points, very comfortably leading the pack. So it's although it does see us get to where we need to be, it's not overly important regardless of the result here. So that's the whistle, 2-0. Again, should have been much more, but cannot complain when you have the 3 points in the bag. So again, I think every time we look at these match highlights, they're always stacked out with the opposition goalkeeper's highlights of him making all of these saves. So that's happened again there. But the points is what we need. So not a lot of big teams in this tournament for us to worry about. In real life, I know Barcelona have just dropped into it, but they have come up against Manchester United, so it's a big one for them. So just a couple of emails here. Zinchenko is ready to be moved into that midfield position, which is excellent. So we'll just have a look at that and see if we can complete that transfer. Yep, so we moved him into centre mid now, so he's now a centre midfielder. So what we'll try and do, just make him a box-to-box midfielder, because I think that's kind of where he's shining. So he's looking at the passing, maybe not the finishing. Central midfield. Let's have a look at that. So box-to-box. Central midfield. Let's put him in central midfield. I think that's what we do want from him. So that's good to see. It's good to see he's progressing. Email from him. So through here. Hey Gav, thanks for listening to what I had to say. Not a problem, mate. Keep your feet on the ground, Emil. Don't go flying too high. Okay, so up next, big one. Home game against Manchester United. But before that, we do have an email from our chief executive. Youth Squad Monthly Report. Let's have a look. So Denis Petrov and Afonso Mendes not looking like exceedingly bright talents. I think there was a lot of potential for them initially, but if we look at the potential column over here, I think they've really dropped off, with their kind of peak of his abilities being 83 for Denis Petrov and the peak of Afonso Mendes' abilities being 80. Massive drop off to what I had hoped they'd become, but we're not going to be too reliant on youth. We will be bringing in those stars that we want to see, because I think it's much easier when it's a FIFA career mode to bring in those talents. Okay, so we do have a massive game here. So against Manchester United. Interestingly, so they've signed Diego Aspas and stuck him straight up top, but that midfield of Eriksen, Casemiro, and McTominay is very good level of balance. Malacia, Martinez, Varane, Calabria, another signing for them, but lots of things. Sancho, Anthony, yep. Okay. Pretty happy with that starting 11. Maybe we could start Zinchenko in the midfield ahead of Granit Xhaka. I want to give him a little run out, see what he's like in that midfield position. I think he'll be a bright talent for us. So Okay, happy with that. So let's get that underway. Let's begin. Arsenal versus Manchester United.
From the English capital,
a big game.
very special occasion. Arsenal
so we are at home here. We are at the
everyone
Emirates, and this is, as of right now, Arsenal's upcoming fixture in real life also. It'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. It's a massive, massive game against a massive, massive opposition. So here we are. North London, we're live. Emirates Stadium. Let's get it underway. And that beautiful red and white. Back on the carpet. It is good to be here. Saka driving in field. Jesus. Just trying to play that early killer ball. Cannot quite find it. So what Erik ten Hag has done with Manchester United certainly has to be praised. He didn't start the season very well with a big 4-0 loss against Brentford. But since that, he really has turned things around. And as I say, he's managed to drag Man United up to second place. He had a lot on his plate, with a lot of pressure on his head, a lot of poor underperforming players, and a lot of drama with Cristiano Ronaldo at the helm, who almost single-handedly Erik ten Hag binned off. It was a big ask, a big test. Good strike from Jesus to give us the lead early on. But it was a massive ask for Erik ten Hag to deal with that Cristiano Ronaldo situation. And it was a big managerial test for him to see how he would respond to it. He answered it with flying colours. You know, he's put his foot down, showed to Cristiano Ronaldo that he's not a man to be messed with, and that no player is bigger than the club. And that's exactly what he needed to do. And now he's answered that question. It's only positive news for Manchester United. Obviously, that one ended with a termination or a mutual termination, I think it was coined as, of Cristiano Ronaldo's contract after he did release that very controversial interview with Piers Morgan, where he threw his teammates and Erik ten Hag under the bus. And you know, I think he knew what he was getting himself into there, Ronaldo. I don't think he cared a lot, especially with the kind of offers he knew that would be coming in afterwards. And we've seen that instantly with offers from Saudi Arabia coming in, and one that he agreed to. I think it was a 7 or 8 year deal, similar to that Mudryk timing, but it's a very different format. So I think the arrangement there is for him to play for a couple of years and then spend the remaining years of that contract. Equaliser there. Iago Aspas finds the back of the net. We've slipped it here. So the remaining years of that contract for Cristiano Ronaldo will be spent as an ambassador for Saudi Arabia, trying to secure a World Cup bid. So we obviously recently just had a World Cup in Qatar for 2022. And Ronaldo will be leading Saudi Arabia's push for another World Cup to come to the Middle East. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. He's a bit of a one-man army, Cristiano Ronaldo and his following. It's unrivaled, really. He kind of saw the transformation of when his move to Al Nassr, I believe it was announced. Their Instagram account, it was with a few 100,000 followers, and it flew up to 5 or 6 million in days, just as a result of them announcing that Cristiano Ronaldo transfer. So he almost feels a bit bigger than the game, and I think that has kind of gone to his head massively, and that wasn't something Erik ten Hag was willing to allow, and ended up with him having to walk out the door, Cristiano Ronaldo, with Erik ten Hag pushing him. So sloppy there from us. Sancho with a good chance there, with a good save from Ramsdale to deny him. But the counter is very much on here. So Saka playing a quality ball through to Jesus, who strikes back of the net. Unstoppable, that one from Jesus. Not even David De Gea can stop that one. He's having an interesting time, David De Gea, at Manchester United. I think he's come under a lot of pressure recently with a few colossal errors, and especially in that very first game for Erik ten Hag at Brentford. It was a big mistake, a few big mistakes from David De Gea that cost them very early on in that game and kind of left them unable to get back into it. And again, incredible shot stopper. That much has never left him really. But it's his inability to play out from the back, which I think Erik ten Hag will eventually look to phase out. I think we've already seen a slight improvement in that regard with him, but I don't think it will ever be enough for what Ten Hag's looking to build. I think he will try and bring in that mould of keeper that is very similar to Ramsdale, similar to Ederson, similar to Alisson. As I spoke about before, it's just able to just bring a bit more from the initial starting point. The game is not so much all about shot stopping anymore. There's much more to it, and Erik ten Hag is aware of that, and whether maybe at the end of the season we'll see the end of David de Gea, which I don't know, I think a lot of Manchester United fans will not be too upset about that. I think that's something that's been coming for a long time. He did start to waver in his shot stopping and make a lot of mistakes, and I think a lot of fans did call for his head. Had a recent improvement in form under Erik ten Hag, which might have brought back a little bit of sentimentality from the fans, but he should have gone for that Madrid deal. I remember it was a deadline day deal, one that kind of was very, very close to happening. Fell through at the last minute, I believe, due to some paperwork not being able to be completed on time before the deadline. But I think a lot of the Manchester United fans were happy to see him stay at that point, but were preparing themselves for the heartache of losing him, and I'm pretty sure he was wanting to go there as well. But they ended up getting Thibaut Courtois, Real Madrid, a few years later, who obviously has been incredible for Real Madrid, especially in that Champions League final last year against Liverpool, with some incredible saves. And goalkeepers can win matches for you. It's a foul on the edge of the box, so it's a good chance for us. So who do we have here who's good at free kicks? I think Martin Odegaard's probably the best choice here. Let's see what we can do with this one. See if we can bend one in. A strike from Martin Odegaard into the wall. It's unfortunate. But yeah, goalkeepers can single-handedly win you games. I think we've seen in that North London derby just how excellent Ramsdale was. Got himself a man of the match performance. Arsenal did very well to control that game, but it could have been very different if Spurs had scored one of their chances. They had a couple of very good chances, and obviously with the nature of the derby, I think the kind of atmosphere and everything could have very easily taken over that game should Spurs have scored. So for him to make some very, very good one-on-one saves, it was colossal for Arsenal's mentality and colossal for keeping those Spurs fans quiet and allowing Arsenal to exert their control and quality. He did end up getting himself kicked, actually. There was a pitch invasion by a fan just at the end of the game who did flying kick Aaron Ramsdale. The fan was very swiftly wrestled by a steward, but he did then climb back into the crowd, so it wasn't a smart move from the fan whatsoever. Very, very stupid thing to do, and even more so when he's kind of very easily recognisable. The footage was live on the Sky and everywhere else, so he's very, very recognisable. He did put a scarf over his mouth, but that's not going to do anything for his identity, so he's going to see himself with at least a ban. Good finish there from Jesus to give us the 3-1 lead. So yeah, that fan's going to get himself at least a stadium ban, if not some very, very heavy interest from the police. Good celebration there from the boys. I can imagine a big fine's coming his way. So very good play here, good ball from Odegaard, and the solid finish from Gabriel Jesus. Just takes away from David de Gea. He can't do anything to stop that one. Card through them again. That's absolutely stunning from the boys. So Jesus giving us a 3-1 lead, looking solid here. Doesn't look like one we're going to be able to throw away now. So Zinchenko, I think he's been solid in that midfield. I haven't had a lot to say about him, but I think that's kind of a good thing, because I think it shows how well he's kind of slotted into there. I think if he had stood out as a problem, then we'd have to get Xhaka back in. But Zinchenko's he's come into that role and settled in nicely straight off the bat, which is excellent to see. I mean, he pretty much plays there in real life anyway, because he's asked to invert under Mikel Arteta. And with the amount of control we have on the ball, he does spend a lot of the time in that midfield position, so he should be very much used to it. So Jesus charging through on goal, bags it, 4-1. Clinical from Arsenal Football Club. Jesus responding very, very well to that counter-attack, and he must be the league's top scorer. He just gets goal after goal for us.
Well, just look at this again.
Caught them very, very nicely. The transition on point, and rocket from Gabriel Jesus to find the back of the net. Beautiful. So 4-1 ends up being very, very comfortable. Maybe not what we expected, but certainly the performance the boys are giving us is one to behold. Leao charging through on goal here. Rockets one. Big save from De Gea that time. They're able to find the fifth, but a good counter again. So they're now taking Iago Aspas off and bringing on Marcus Rashford, the man of the moment, really. Surprised to see him not starting, but I guess he's not classed as an out-and-out striker on this game, so I reckon they probably considered Aspas as a better fit. Saliba can't squeeze one through there. So interestingly, I think they've updated the squads already with Cristiano Ronaldo not actually being here at Manchester United. Whether they've added him to Al Nassr yet or not, I don't know. We'll have to look at that one. So Man United looking to, get themselves a little consolation goal. Brilliant tackle from Gabriel, last minute. Absolute cruncher to deny Sancho and Rashford there. Struck just wide by Bruno Fernandes. So he's got McTominay coming off. Donny van de Beek, he's getting some game time. The man who's been neglected. He's been neglected by Erik ten Hag as well, which I think kind of speaks volumes. I think we're all, it's definitely the Manchester United fans we're singing for him to get a little bit of game time, and we all kind of put that down to the managers. But with Erik ten Hag coming in and not being impressed by him either, I think that says all you need to know about Donny van de Beek. I don't think we'll ever see him thing into that Manchester United squad, and it doesn't look like they need him. They're performing extremely well without him, so not a problem for Manchester United's point of view. So a nice solid win there, 4-1 with Jesus with all 4 goals. I didn't even realise that he was the one smashing in every single one. So where's the leaders in the league now? So we are flying, 6 points clear of West Ham, who are the closest to us, 6 points clear of Liverpool and Aston Villa as well. But a very, very good start. So up next we do have Crystal